Ooh, a tough battle ahead for President Obama on Capitol Hill. He's made a deal with Republicans on tax cuts for everybody, but that includes the wealthiest Americans, and the Democrats don't like that one bit. In fact, a core group of House lawmakers are threatening to kill the bill. Let me talk to outgoing Democratic Congressman Joe Sestak of Pennsylvania and Congressman Brad Sherman, a Democrat from California. It's good to talk to both of you gentlemen today. So,
good to be with you, contestant.
Congressman Sestak, here you are, the last few weeks that you're serving in your current role as Congressman of Pennsylvania. How will you vote on the tax cut compromise?
I haven't seen the final package, but I lean towards supporting it reluctantly. 3 points. First, I voted against adjournment every time the past 6 months until we addressed this. Instead of having my Democratic Party leadership worry about self-preservation, we should have the courage of our convictions and separated the deficit hawks from the chicken hawks. Second, I think of my district. Take Upper Darby, the largest township in Pennsylvania, working family, blue collar. 6.3% tax increase locally there this year. 1,200 home mortgage foreclosures from my district walk in my office. If we don't help them and permit the other side to hold a gun to the working family's head, we can't pull that trigger. And last, the fact is, this is a backdoor stimulus that's absolutely critical in a fragile economy to make sure that demand keeps getting out there. People still start consuming. Having the unemployed and the working families do that, and then truly getting deficit control is necessary, and we can get this economy up to 4% GDP growing again.
Congressman Sherman, as I mentioned, you represent a state where 8 of the top 10 metropolitan unemployment centers are located, meaning they rank in the top 10, these centers, for high unemployment, some of them over 20%. There is a benefit here, an extension of benefits for the unemployed included in the deal the president's made with Republicans. Is that something that would convince you to support tax cuts for the rich?
Well, my vote is very much up in the air. I'm working to make the bill better. I do think the extension of unemployment benefits is critical. There are other critical parts of the bill, and as Joe points out, many aspects of the bill will have a good stimulus effect. But the estate tax provisions, particularly the estate tax provision for 2010, for those dying in 2010 under this deal, the estate tax is less than zero. Now, you ask, how could a tax be less than zero? Well, we tell the richest families in America, you get a choice. You can have zero, file one form, or you file another form, and you may pay a little estate tax, and then you can pay much lower income taxes in future years. So hire a smart tax attorney. I used to try to pretend to be one, and pick whether you want zero or you want something that for you might be even less than zero. That is the wrong message to send to estates of $10 million, $100 million at a time when we have a deficit problem.
Oh, okay, so that is a similar argument that gets made against why tax cuts should not be extended for the wealthiest Americans, that they don't get spent automatically, that they're already sitting on money, so if you give them more money, they just sit on it. They don't turn around and hire people or buy a bunch of stuff. Let me ask you, with just a couple weeks left in this lame duck session, for instance, Congressman Sestak, you won't have a chance to participate when Congress reconvenes in the new year. How important is it for you that if there are changes to this bill, if there's work to be done, it gets done quickly?
These taxes, they expire 1 January, and yes, we can put them back. But right now, as of 1 December, 2 million men and women have lost their unemployment benefits. You can't go retroactively to those in Pennsylvania who lost it. And so action is needed now. I watched us far too long, always putting it off until tomorrow. Frankly, 2 years ago, if they, instead of having the Democratic leadership say, this is the top line for the stimulus bill, if we had not had the Senate take out $100 billion, a little bit more goodness in there would have put a greater overall good. And now we're kind of backdooring it in there to get this fragile economy going again. It's not just about a compromise. It's what the policy will do to our economy. And I think we've waited far too long to get this going. He's right about the top 1% and 2%. I wish those weren't in there. And we've got to end those top 2% to get our deficit once this temporary extension is over.
Representatives,
I agree with you. We have got to do this in the next week or two. Especially that's important for House Democrats, because right now we're in a position to negotiate to get the deal a little better. Come January, the president will be negotiating with Speaker Boehner, and if anything, the deal will get a step worse. So for those who are unemployed and need the extended benefits, and as a matter of politics here in Washington, we've got to act in the next 10 days.
Representatives, it's good to talk to both of you. I'll hope to check back in with you as the votes that are on your plate continue to come forward. Thanks so much for your time today.
Best to you, contestants.